The South Today bulletin, proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Tonight on the South Today, the last post rings out across the South with a range of events marking an important Remembrance Day. Sporting legends join the commemorations in Christchurch, rededicating the historic gates at Lancaster Park. And roaring engines fill the Cromwell Gorge as hundreds of bikies show their love of the hog. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Hannah Wilkins. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, the guns fell silent. People gathered across the country on Saturday, marking Armistice Day, paying tribute to the soldiers who died in World War I.
Flags flying at half-mast on the 11th hour as families and servicemen come together to pay their respects. Saturday was a day of remembrance for many people across Otago and Southland, including this Armistice Day gathering at the Arrowtown War Memorial. The monument commemorates the residents who gave their lives in combat, the day marking a significant event in history.
Okay, so today we are remembering the end of World War I, which is a pretty significant thing. So we come here and gather just to celebrate that day that it did end.
Bagpipes rang out through the spring Central Otago Day, the last post playing while RSA members laid poppies on the memorial monument for long-departed family members. And emotions were on show for many during Saturday's service, including local RSA President Rosemary Chalmers.
To me today, actually, it's a little bit raw. I actually got a little bit emotional today. My father served, he served in the Korean War, but he's been very ill, so that's why I think I sort of broke down a little bit today when I started to do my stuff.
Commemorations were held in the suburbs of Alexandra as 5 poppy place signs were unveiled, honouring the names of local residents who served their country. Around 50 people attended the service, falling silent as 3 rounds were fired from a 25-rounder gun, to pay homage to the fallen soldiers. Across the South Today.
And Armistice Day commemorations across the South also visited some cemeteries, including a group of Arrowtown volunteers who paid tribute to the district's fallen veterans. The grave sites of some of those who fought for New Zealand now have permanent reminders of their service in the form of a recognisable red flower.
Scrubbing away the dirt, uncovering the past of some fallen heroes. Arrowtown Cemetery was full of life on Sunday morning as a group of around 30 local volunteers worked to restore grave sites of those who fought in World War I. And the working bee had another important mission, fixing clay poppies onto the headstones donated by Nelson resident Peter Chisholm.
He had attended one of our services on Anzac Day and he absolutely loved it, and he just said, I want to give you something in the community, so that's what he came up with, and yeah, it's been great. So it's taken me a few years to get them on there, but this is a start.
Arrowtown RSA President Rosemary Chalmers says there were 24 men from the village who lost their lives in World War I, another 19 in World War II, and a further 2 during a war in South Africa. The project has been a few years in the making, the efforts coming after the Armistice Day commemorations, with many more plans in store for the graves.
We'll come back in the future, and before next Armistice Day, I would like to have even some of the memorials and everything started to be restored. So it's exciting for us.
Chalmers hopes the restoration will be completed within the next year, along with a new map detailing where each war veteran had been laid to rest. In Arrowtown, the South Today.
Meanwhile, in Christchurch, Armistice Day was marked with the rededication of the historic memorial gates at Lancaster Park, with local sporting legends turning out for the reopening.
Some of Canterbury's sporting greats paying tribute to the region's fallen athlete soldiers. More than 100 people turned out on Armistice Day as Christchurch Mayor Phil Major officially rededicated the historic gates at Lancaster Park during a special ceremony.
The project was not without its challenges, but the results speak for themselves. The gates look magnificent and are a fitting tribute to those who sacrificed so much for their country.
The memorial gates on Stephen Street were built in 1924 to honour the sacrifice of Canterbury athletes during World War I. The historic structure was badly damaged in the Canterbury earthquakes, but has now been refurbished as part of the wider Lancaster Park redevelopment project. A new arc of history was unveiled just inside the gates. The series of 12-panel showcases top sporting and cultural moments at the site over the last 130 years. Joining in the ceremony were former cricketer Sir Richard Hadlee, All Black Sam Whitelock and Dan Carter and new All Black coach Scott Robertson, sharing their earliest and best memories of Lancaster Park.
I could hear the embankment, I could hear the wall, they were jumping, I thought, holy hell. It felt ironically like an earthquake.
Lancaster Park reopened in 2022 as an open field after years of remedial work. The City Council is planning to build a community centre and playground on the site alongside the playing fields. In Christchurch, the South today.
Dunedin Mayor Jules Reddick has been labelled irresponsible by a city councillor who claims he downplayed an increase in COVID-19 cases in the south. Veteran councillor David Benson-Pope has criticised Mayor Reddick, who he doesn't believe is taking the COVID-19 situation seriously enough. Well South issued a public alert about a spike in cases last Friday. Mayor Reddick tested positive for the virus the same day. On Saturday, he confirmed Deputy Mayor Cherry Lucas would be acting as mayor while he recovers. Benson-Pope has also expressed his frustration at not being told through official channels that the mayor had COVID-19. Reddick says he didn't see the need to issue a public health alert to Dunedin citizens. However, he's recommending people remain vigilant, with one epidemiologist warning of a fifth wave of COVID-19 going through the community. The sunny weather was broken with a bit of thunder over the weekend in central Otago, but it wasn't coming from the sky. Harley Davidson lovers from all over the country revved up in Cromwell for the celebrations of two major anniversaries.
The roar of hundreds of Harleys thundering through central Otago as they get the rare chance for a photo on top of the Clyde Dam. Around 400 riders jumped on their Harley Davidson bikes and made the journey from Cromwell to Clyde on Saturday for the New Zealand Thunder Ride. The event was part of a 3-day national rally of owners, marking the anniversary of the group and also of Harley Davidson itself.
It's a stunning day here in sunny Central for this fantastic event, the 40th anniversary of the Harley Davidson Owners Group here in New Zealand and 120 years of this iconic brand.
Members of motorcycle chapters from across the country joined the scenic ride, coming together to share their common love for the iconic bikes. Annie Howe's been riding since she was 18 and enjoys the freedom and friendships in joining other riders on the open road.
The camaraderie with meeting different people, the places that you can go, the roads that you ride, and it's always a talking piece whenever you turn up on your bike. We've met many amazing people through this journey.
One lady even travelled all the way from Canada for the Thunder Ride. Many of the bikers brought along their partners or friends to join them on the unique journey. In Alexandra, the South today.
FI Yakane still to come on the South today. Some keen runners put in a massive shift, pushing their bodies to the absolute limit in Arrowtown. And Southland's newest exhibition opens, weaving Chinese history with unique food art.
Great Britain has a collection of varied landscapes and countryside to rival anywhere else in the world. And the best way to see it is to walk.
Such a sweet girl. What are you dreaming about?
Just music.
Powered dreams by Honda.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Here at Age Concern Otago, we offer a range of services to support Otago seniors to age well with dignity and independence. We provide social work support, visiting service, health promotion and social activities. Check out what we have on offer at ageconcernotago.com.
Earth is a planet of extremes. Extreme places and extreme animals. But some animals are more extreme than others. Join us as we count down to find the most unusual, the most extraordinary, the most extreme.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. 150 runners took off on Saturday morning for the inaugural Arrowtown Backyard Ultra event. It was a war of attrition, with 2 men still running on Monday morning to break the national record.
Setting off on their multi-day journey as this group of runners take off for the gruelling Arrowtown Backyard Ultra on Saturday morning. The inaugural event attracted a full capacity field, with 150 people from across New Zealand taking on the Extreme Endurance Challenge. The group had to set off every hour on the hour for the 6.7 kilometre run, the event continuing until one person is left standing.
And the runners make their way up the Arrow River Trail. They head all the way up to the second bridge, back over the Tobin's track bridge, make their way back past the race hub, and then they do a little loop up Bush Creek.
A group of Canterbury runners have decided to turn their attempt into a fundraising effort, raising over $1,200 for men's mental health group, the Movember Foundation.
I think Alex was looking for a marathon, and then we couldn't find a decent one, and this seemed like a pretty fantastic event.
At least 2 people were needed for the challenge to continue. The last 2 runners, Jeremy Palvin and Glenn Sutton, able to smash the New Zealand record of 48 hours. Dunedin's Glenn Sutton was the runner-up in the Ultra, completing a total of 49 laps. But Christchurch's Jeremy Palvin took home the trophy after running 50 laps of the old mining town.
Honestly, I feel exhausted, but it also feels good. But yeah, I'm knackered.
A bit gutted, to be honest. I was hoping to get the win, but it's a tough gig, these backyards, and just didn't quite go my way, I guess.
Organisers say the Backyard Ultra went off without a hitch. Work is now underway for extended event permits to enable the event to run for another 10 years. In Arrowtown, the South Today.
One of Southland's newest exhibitions is stitching Chinese history with unique art, and it's catching the attention of many food lovers. The Fortune exhibit in Gore uses the dining table as its canvas, showcasing some mouth-watering oriental prop dishes made with wool.
Auckland-based artist Bev Moon setting up the dining table with some Chinese cuisine, but it's definitely not for eating. This yum cha feast is made entirely from knitted wool. It's all part of her Fortune exhibition that opened on Friday at Gore's Eastern Southland Art Gallery. She started knitting at the age of 8, paying tribute to her mother and grandmother, whose intricate skills were passed down to her. Moon says she got the idea of creating food-based knitting during the COVID-19 lockdowns.
Yeah, I just thought, oh, I'm just going to try knitting some food. I'm going to try knitting some dumplings, and the first thing I did was the pork buns.
It's her first time visiting the Gore district, but Moon has deep-rooted connections with the area. Her ancestors came all the way from China in search of gold in the late 1800s and ended up running a laundry in the Southland town. She's proud to be able to stage her exhibition in the place where it all started for her family in New Zealand.
I really wanted it to come to Gore, especially because of that connection, and it feels really significant to come here.
Art gallery bosses say they're delighted to be hosting Moon's food exhibition, which will be open to the public until mid-January. In Gore, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Armistice Day was commemorated across the regions with a range of events paying tribute to our fallen soldiers. The memorial gates at Lancaster Park have been rededicated with the help of some Christchurch sporting stars. And hundreds of motorcyclists roared from Cromwell and over the Clyde Dam as part of a national Harley Davidson rally. And now we'll look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we're checking in with Associate Editor Mike Houlihan. Hello Mike.
Good evening, Hannah.
What can we expect in the Tuesday paper?
Well, it's obviously marathon running season in the Queenstown Lakes area. The Queenstown Marathon's this weekend. And we've got a nice feature about a man who broke his back when he was a teenager and has now battled back and recovered fully. He is now running in the marathon this weekend.
Oh wow, good on him.
In a less extreme form of play, Dunedin City Council is consulting on destination playgrounds, is looking at revamping 3 of the city's best loved and best used playgrounds and making them well and truly more modern and fit for purpose.
Sure, yes.
We've also got our travel section, it being Tuesday, where someone has gone diving with saltwater crocodiles.
Oh.
And in sport, another Queenstown story, Ben Campbell, professional golfer from that town, has won a big tournament overseas.
Oh, good on him. All right, well, we look forward to reading tomorrow. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Time now for a look at the weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, and a changeable week ahead as west to southwesterly airflow washes a number of cold fronts over southern districts, bringing brief showers and cooler winds and longer dry spells with milder temperatures. Heading to the top of the South Island, southwesterlies and afternoon showers for Nelson with a high of 22. It's wet and windy with northerlies and 18 degrees in Greymouth tomorrow. And Christchurch gets a warm 25 with high cloud and nor'westerlies for Cup Day. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago. High cloud and northerlies for Ashburton tomorrow with a high of 24. Wet with showers and changing winds as we come down the coast. Timaru expecting 23 and 21 for Oamaru. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes. Fresh westerlies and showers are inbound for Queenstown and Wanaka tomorrow, both with 19-degree highs. And to Alexandra, it's warmer with 22, but there's still some showers about. Heading further south. Fresh westerlies across the board here with showers and 17-degree highs for Gore, Balclutha and the Catlins, where it'll be particularly windy. Across to Invercargill. Mostly fine tonight as it drops to 11. Tomorrow's cloudy with strong cool westerlies and a high of 16. Then Wednesday's almost a copy and paste job, just slightly warmer with 17 with those same fresh westerlies and cloud about. And finally heading to Dunedin. Fine tonight with high cloud and an 11-degree low. Another mixed bag day on the way tomorrow with a lovely fine start and a high of 20 degrees, but it comes with showers and southerlies late in the day too. Midweek, expect a fine sunny day with some high clouds at times with 18 degrees. And that's the news this Monday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand, or follow us on Facebook. Just search for the South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. We'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite o pōpō.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.